Hi, this is Mary from X2Engine. Today we will be learning about creating document, email, and quote templates. To start off, go to Docs. Under Docs, you can view all the current existing documents, create a new document, create an email template, create a quote template, or import and export docs. When in the list doc view, you can upload a file at the bottom of the page. You can make the file public or private. Also, we won't be looking at these last two options to import and export docs, but we will be learning how to create all the different types of templates. To create a new doc, simply click on Create Doc on the left side panel. So type in a name for the doc, let's type in hello, and then choose the visibility, either public or private. You can also choose which users are allowed to edit the document. Here you have options to view the source code, and then cut, copy, paste as plain text, or paste from Word. There are also options to undo and redo, or add or remove a link. You can also add in an anchor, an image, a table, or a horizontal line, or insert a special character. Additionally, you can change the color of the text as well as the highlight of the text. You can also bold, italicize, underline or strike through the text, or create subscripts or superscripts. If you're not happy with the formatting of your text, you can remove the format. You can also change the font and the size of the text. You can create numbered lists or bulleted lists, change the indentation of the text, create block quotes, or change the alignment of the text. To create a new document, you obviously had to type some stuff in, so I'm just going to write, "Hello, how are you today?" and then mess around with the formatting, such as the font and the font size, and then the text color and highlighting. I'm also going to change the alignment and then add in some horizontal lines. So once you're happy with how your document looks, you can click on Create, and then it'll create your document. You can always edit the doc later if you're not happy with it, or delete it altogether. So now let's move on to creating an email template. So in the same menu, go to Create Email, and then here you can choose the name of the email as well as the visibility, either public or private, or the record type, which is accounts, bug reports, contacts, leads, or service, and then you can choose who the email will be to, as well as the subject of the email. You have all the same options when creating an email as you do when creating a doc, but you can also add dynamic variables under Attribute. When you send an email with a template containing attributes, those variables will be replaced by the proper variable that's attached to the contact. These dynamic variables can be very useful for making more personalized emails. For example, if the email template contains attributes such as name, date of birth, and country, like if it says, "Hello, name, from, country, your date of birth is date of birth," then when John Smith from Canada, who was born on December 9th, 1968, receives the email, it will say, "Hello, John Smith from Canada. Your date of birth is December 9, 1968. So once you're done typing in your email message and then maybe adding a name, so let's name this "Hello email template," and then make the subject birth date, then you can click on Create, and then it'll make this email template. You can also use this email template when creating an email campaign. To do so, just go to the template field when you're in the Create Campaign menu, and then choose the name of the template, which in this case is "Hello Email Template," and it'll show up right there. To create a quote template, click on Create Quote, which is again in the left side panel. Just like docs, when you create a quote template, you can fill out fields for name and subject and choose the visibility, which is again public or private. All the options here are the same as when you create a document or email template, but it's overall more similar to creating an email template due to the availability of dynamic variables. The syntax for these variables is slightly different than in emails, but just like in email templates, it gives you a large list of dynamic variables to choose from. The main difference between email template and quote template attributes are that quote template attributes are categorized into contacts, quotes, and accounts, while email template attributes are not organized in such a fashion. Again, once you're done typing everything up, click on Create to create the new quote template. Like with email templates, you can use your quote templates later on when creating a new quote. To do so, go to Quotes, and then click on Create. At the bottom left of the form, there's an option to select a quote template where you can choose the template that you just created. Now that you know how to create documents and templates, you can start creating some new templates to use later on when creating new email campaigns or quotes.